I will decide what I do next.
I am so ready for this movie at this time of our lives. Just the trailer alone makes me feel good. It makes me smile, Heather, but knowing who's starring in the movie makes me feel even more better about watching this movie. On May 29th, it's going to be on everywhere. It's called The High Note. We have our sister, our friend, our muse, if you will, the one and only Golden Globe winner, NAACP award, Image Award recipient. The litany of awards go down the list of about as long as four of your arms. The one and only and songbird herself, Tracee Ellis Ross.
She got a roll of owl, stunt button, crazy.
Tracee Ellis Ross.
Hi guys.
Hey,
How are you?
What's up?
Oh, can we just have a non-professional moment for a second? You know, I miss you.
Please. I wish I was there with you. I know. Let me let you finish talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nah, Tracee, I miss you. I miss having
Her
the ability, your energy.
Her energy.
I miss, not that we saw each other all the time, but we always had the ability. Always had the ability to go into a space that you were in, if I so choose. I don't have that ability.
I know. I was going to say, there's nothing like my interviews when I'm in there with you guys. So we're just going to do a virtual version of that.
Okay.
And right now, it's just feel my energy all the way through the airwaves. Okay. I hope it comes to you. I'm wearing a mask right now, not a protective mask, but a hydrating mask.
Okay, that's different.
Getting that skin glowy, girl. Get that glowy
Get
skin,
that
girl.
skin popping. You know what I mean? I gotta keep it looking cute, even though I'm in the house.
Okay. You got to do. I was going to say she's taking it seriously. She got a mask on the phone. Okay.
I love it.
Now. This is a hydrating mask. Yes. Hi, guys. I wish I could hug each of you.
Yes, we appreciate you. And to Sway's point, this is Heather. To Sway's point, we talk about you randomly, just as a person whose name doesn't come up enough. We often sometimes celebrate people for reasons like, somebody might be having a birthday or whatever, and we'll get into these conversations. But just on the strength of love and the strength of strong things, your name should be in the conversations of just super multi-talented women that we don't get to celebrate as much. Of course, we support you and your projects and everything, but just the way you've been able to shine through and come through with quality projects and keep your name out of the tabloids and keep your name out of things that's not honorable to your character and the culture and just everything, the legacy behind your name. We salute you, sis, for real. So we just wanted to give you your flowers today and show you that love.
I really, my hands are on my heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's such a, I think there's so many people that in our industry, I wish had the opportunities that, that they deserve. But I really appreciate that, and it fills my heart, especially in this very strange time where we feel so far from each other, where you can't feel people's energy. Yeah. And be able to hug people. I thank you for your words. I really do. Because it's, we forget that as human beings, you can't feel yourself in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's there's so many things that, there's so much loss we're feeling, right now in so many different ways, big and small, and you can't really compare feelings. There's lives lost and livelihoods lost and hugs and plans, but there's also so much that we take for granted in terms of how we feel and experience each other and how that mirrors us back to ourselves. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Tracee Ellis Ross is here, and the other thing I admire, a couple of things I admire. I saw you sit down and have a conversation with Oprah. And I want to.
That was a moment. Hey,
Yo, that was a stunt right there. We just said it like it's every day, But damn it, did you get nervous? I think.
Yeah.
You did, right?
Yeah, of course. Not only because I was talking to Oprah, but there were 17,000 people in that stadium. I was like, let's have an intimate conversation with all these people on a stage.
Is it hard when it's that surrounding? Is it hard to find your center? Because you're a natural entertainer. You've been in front of a camera or in front of a mic probably your entire life. So, and when Oprah's sitting down with you, she wants introspective. She wants truth and. We got levels to it, how much we give up, sometimes. Yeah. Were you able to find, your truth in that conversation with everything that was surrounding you?
I was. I mean, there was definitely a different kind of buzz, that's happening in your body, number one, sitting with Oprah and in a big stadium like that. But I think I feel like I'm less, yes, I love being on a stage and entertaining, but my core is always the same, that I'm a truth teller. Like I can't help it. Mm-hmm. I know what's sacred for me. So I don't, it's not necessarily about private because I think I'm very an open person, but I do hold particular things sacred that are for nobody else's consumption, but my own. But yeah, I was able to find my center. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous and it was hard for me to watch it back. Like it took me a minute because I have the same, I get self-conscious and did I, say what I meant and meant what I say, what I mean and mean what I say, like all of that kind of stuff. Was that the best of me? Was that, you know what I mean? All of those kinds of doubts and thoughts come up in my head. But I always remind myself that, who I am speaks louder than one moment. And I feel that for everybody. Like, I don't judge people on one moment. I think we have so much of that in our culture, and it's not fair because we are so much more than one moment. And so I try to stay out of judging it and just allowing things to be. But yeah, I get nervous. I get self-conscious, all of those kinds of things. And then I go to my own spiritual practice to try and soothe myself differently after that.
Okay.
Did that answer that question, Sway? Did that answer that?
Absolutely. You do a great job. I would have hugged you if we were in the studio for that answer. That's how great that response was.
And I would have appreciated it.
Because it was a comment. It was something you talked about. And then, Heather, I want you to hear this. And I thought it was so dope when it came because people always, if you're not married and you turn, if you're 40 plus and you're not married, people always, they look at you like there's something wrong with you sometimes.
Oh my God, if you're 30 plus, like especially for women, it's such a whole thing. So yeah, let's hear what you got.
Okay, this is what you had to say about being single, and take a look at this.
I, like many of us, was taught to grow up dreaming of my wedding, not of my life. And I spent many years dreaming of my wedding.
Preach to the choir.
And also waiting to be chosen. Well, here's the thing. I'm the chooser.
Wow.
And I can choose to get married if I want to, but in the meantime, I am choicefully single, happily, gloriously single.
Amen.
And I do wish there were more examples.
Yeah, man. I applies because see, people think that just apply to women, but that can apply to a man too. That's why I identify with that, Tracee Ellis Ross.
I'm glad you remind people of that. It's not just women. Yes, I think in society there is a very specific thing about, men do the choosing and women get chosen. And I think that's the reason I spoke up about that specifically for women. But yes, it's across the board. There's I think for all of us in all areas, not just around relationships and marriage, but anything which is, leads us really nicely into the conversation about the movie that I'm so proud of. We all get, there's all these ways that our world tells us we're supposed to stay in our lane or be, or this is what it looks like to be happy. This is what it takes for your life to have meaning. This is what it takes for you to be successful. But it's such a personal and intimate equation. It's something that you get to decide. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to do that because you have so many messages coming at you as if you aren't that thing, then you aren't it. And it's just not true. Like, there's what you're looking for and what makes up a really happy life for you could look completely different than what makes up a happy life for me. and what I'm looking for in a partner, whatever those things may be. And I want to make sure, like I always say to people, what am I going to wait around and be unhappy moping somewhere because I don't have all the things that I want, whether it's the right partner or the this or the that? No, I'm going to live my life to the fullest in every moment with exactly the circumstances that exist. And then, keep it moving. Like, because I can't wait for my life to be good until this thing. Like, if only. Nah, what about right now? Otherwise you really waste your day. And that's part of what I love about the message of this movie, that no matter what age you're at, no matter where you are in your life, it is never too late to pursue your dreams. It's never too late for you to choose yourself and to keep making new choices that match up with who you are and who you've become.
And you played Grace Davis, that was just an amazing segue too. By the way, Tracee Ellis Ross. My gosh,
you know what it is? Wait, it's the hydrating mask that I have on. It's totally making me really articulate this morning.
Yo, you killing the game right now. Is this Tracee Ellis Ross on the line? Oh, okay. But Grace Davis, the character you play, she wants to make another album, and she wants to, she see a lot of room in her career. Judging from what I could tell from the trailer, and people are trying to limit her possibilities, and if I'm not mistaken, and she's saying, "Nah, man, I want to go for it," right? And even there's some parallels with you and Grace, because you're singing your ass off on the soundtrack titled "Love Myself," and it's like, where did this come from, Grace?
It was so funny. I guess after the trailer came out, right before we released the song, which I'm just going to say again because it makes literally goosebumps go all over my body. I just dropped a single, Shut the Front Door. Oh my God. And I recorded 5 songs. I'm going to slap you. If I were in front of you, I would slap your face. I'm 47 years old, and I just took a leap into something that I have wanted to do since I was a little girl. I don't know where along my path, whether consciously or unconsciously, I put my singing voice aside. I understand the fear. My mom is Diana Ross. Those are some high heels to step into. And I think I was always afraid of the criticism or the comparison or whatever that was. And then my career took off in another way. And then at what point do you say, I'm just going to start singing? And then this role came along, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. And I had to face so much fear, you guys. I am not joking you. It was terrifying. The process to step out into something new at this time in my life. But yeah, there was a couple of weeks ago, there was a tweet. Somebody said, "Is that Heather Headley singing for you?" And I was like, no, that is all me. All me.
It's have you ever had that conversation with your mother, who, by the way, I would clean her dirt if she asked me to. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I was very cute.
Thank you. Yeah, cleaned her dirt. Get it? All right. Anyway, did she ever give you advice about that pressure? Like,
no.
No.
My mom is, the way my mom parents is pretty spectacular. She tries really hard to let her kids find their own way and have their own space. And she's kind of there just supporting. So, and as I said, I don't know that it was conscious that I put it aside, but she knew that I wanted to sing. I sang in talent shows all through high school and stuff like that. And then I just shut it down. And I remember when I was 22, my mom was like, "You should record an album now." And I was like, very funny. And I just kind of kept moving on my path. But when I finally played her the music, I picked her up. I told this story, but it's really, it was a really special moment for me. I picked her up, and anyone who knows, music bumping in your car is the best thing ever, because you're in a surround, an enclosed environment. And I picked my mom up in my car, and we sat in the driveway of her house. And I played her the songs. My mom has a lot of hair. And so she was facing forward in the passenger seat, and I was looking at her, but I couldn't see her eyes because her hair was in her face. And then you get the visual. And then she turned her head towards me when Love Myself finished, and there were tears running down her face. And we were holding hands the whole time that she was listening. And there were tears running down her face. And she said, turn it down for a second. And she looked at me and she said, finally. Because I know that she has known that I wanted to sing. And I guess without her saying it or talking to me about it specifically, she knew that it was scary for me to let my voice out. And so here it is, almost 50 years old, and here I go.
Here it is, man. Let's play it. Let's let the world hear it right now. Citizens, give her some feedback. Call her up, talk with her, live with her, love with her. Tracee Ellis Ross, Love Myself on Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. Yeah. Tracee Ellis Ross, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. Brand new one from the High Note soundtrack. You got it first, right? I just wanted to give you the full radio experience right there, Tracee.
I really appreciate it, by the way.
You know them
that
DJs.
Was pretty epic.
You know them DJs coming. Yes, indeed. Listen. Ooh, that sounds great. Mm-hmm. Hey, what do you think, Bizzle?
I can see how, because Heather Headley, I mean, who's phenomenal, another just a great voice and a great talent, and I could see how people just could have thought, like, wow, that's a Heather Headley song, because it just makes you feel good, like in your car, windows down, just like, damn, what is this? Who is this? It's one of those songs that's how it'll make you feel. So, yo, that's dope. I could see how your mom got emotional about it, and it does feel like finally you doing your thing, you putting it out there, you letting, you completing something that it's always been burning inside of you for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's such a great feeling when we're able to do that and follow through,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's really interesting. I mean, obviously, these are all songs. These are Grace Davis's songs. They were chosen because they matched the story of the movie. And we had to choose songs that sounded like they spanned her career over decades. So, and I worked with Rodney Jenkins. That's hilarious. Rodney Jerkins. That was hilarious.
Shout out to Rodney Jerkins. Yeah.
What up, Rodney? Dark
Yeah,
Child.
Rodney is incredible. So the movie is really a feel-good movie, like that feel-good song. And in what we're in right now, I hope that it brings a little bit of joy and hope and good feeling to people. And we remind ourselves, put your phone down and have some good feelings if possible.
Then that's why I started that's where I was going in the beginning of the interview when I said, I'm so ready for this movie. It's for that feeling that you're hoping the song, which it will. It already gives you that feeling that you're hoping, and that feeling you hope the movie give is that type of creativeness is giving me. I'm finding balance in it, even if it's fiction. You could find something in it, even the way that song was written. I think Alessia Cara and John Legend and Khalid might have pinned on that one. If I'm not, am I mistaken there?
No, Sarah Aarons, who has written for them, and yes, that's who did it. But
okay. Okay, my bad, Sarah. Please forgive me, Sarah. You get all the props.
No worries. No worries. Their names are right next to hers because she's penned for them as well. That's the reason.
Okay. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
but that's even harder though, Sway. Don't you think? Like, I don't know, Tracee, if you could tell us. I know as an actress, you're dealing with words and different things all the time, and that's your skill set. But when someone writes a song, like, it's so personal, and you have to be that person that hits that note that gives people that feeling when they hear the song and they turn it on, or whatever capacity they hear it. Is it more nervous, like singing, than acting? Like, how do you feel about how taking people's words and trying to make them your own?
Honestly, I looked at it the same way. When I first started and first went in the studio, it was really scary for me because I don't have a lot of experience, and I'm really experienced as an actor.
Right.
So it was, I just felt trepidatious, and sometimes Rodney would say things and I was like, I have no idea what that means. I was like, can you try that a different way? But what I started to realize is that who I am as an artist and as a person is the same. And it's really about me connecting to the truth. Where is that part in me that is the truth? And that was also what allowed me the freedom to get out of my own way and stop worrying about how I was going to be compared to my mom or trying to sound like someone else or anything like that. That my job and anyone's job with singing or in their life is to let your voice out, not try and be anybody other than you are. And sure, I wanted to be on the notes and all those kinds of things and get the words right and all that. But how could I take Sarah's words that meant so much and make them feel completely honest? And that was what I gave myself as an assignment. And I feel like that's the assignment in life. You know, like, how can you be the best you can be?
Wow. Tracee Ellis Ross is here talking with us. And we haven't even touched on Blackish, but that's...
goes without saying, boy.
We haven't touched on Blackish. We haven't touched on my hair products, Pattern Beauty. We got a list.
Wow.
But you know what? This was a solid morning.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, let's talk about
my song just played on the radio.
You better let somebody
you're a radio
know.
star. Matter of fact, you got callers too. All right, we got KG in Atlanta. What's up, man?
KG, what's poppin'?
KG.
Good morning, Sway, Heather, Tracy G, Miss Ross, first-time caller. Just wanted to let Miss Ross know that, hey, I was born a singer, and what I heard from you was passion, and that separates the real people from the fake. And this song was so amazing. You're right. We needed this song right now at this time, and so I'm so proud of you. Keep pushing, sister. Keep doing your thing. I don't care if you're 50 years old. You're still fine. You're still beautiful, but your voice is absolutely amazing and elegant. So congratulations to you. Keep pushing.
Okay, well, you just
Thank
gave her
you so
3.
much.
You gave her 3 years, but she'll,
Yeah, I know. I'm 47, but that's okay because I feel like I get better with
I
mine.
do apologize
so
for that, ma'am. I do
like
apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she got
You
some
are
40.
fine. It's fine.
But
Thank you.
And he said he was born a singer. Is it possible? Make sure you stream or download this song too. Okay, KG.
Yes, sir.
Because
sir.
now Tracee Ellis Ross is see, she's an established actor, but she's a struggling singer. So she needs you to make
That's
sure
right.
you.
Make your version.
Sway, I met you in
trying to
Memphis
get
with the
gig.
radio
Music.
station when you and Daz was out there. I'm actually from Memphis, but I live in Atlanta now. So, brother, thank you, and keep pounding the pavement and doing your job, too, brother.
Thank you, family. You're a citizen, man.
Sway in the morning.
Does that mean he's going to stream it? We got EI from Arizona on the line.
EI, uh-oh.
Is it,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm wonderful, and yourself? Thank you.
I'm doing excellent. I have Tracee Ellis Ross with us. Come on. What more can I say?
Well, I was just calling to let you all know that I really enjoyed that song. I think it was phenomenal. I also feel like it should be like the anthem for our young women, and I've already sent it to my daughter. And just keep doing your thing.
Oh, thank you so much. Stay safe
That's
out
nice.
there. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. See, you already starting to get that response. Thank you, EI. You're a citizen.
This is
Sway in the
crazy.
morning.
I'm sorry. This is crazy. Sway, guys, this is nuts. I don't even know what to say. Oh, my God. You guys just played my song, and now people are giving me feedback. Holy moly.
Girl, you better breathe in that mask, girl. Breathe in that mask, baby.
Man.
Okay. Let me settle down.
Okay. So, I mean, how far does this go? Like, you did the soundtrack. You did multiple songs on the soundtrack. How far are you going to go beyond the soundtrack? Will Tracee Ellis Ross be on tour for music?
Oh, my God. Well, will anyone ever go back to a concert? Let's answer that question first.
Okay.
However, we do hope we all will. I would love to keep singing. I think it would be really fun. You know, I got to start at the top and work with such great people. It was in a very short amount of time. And as I said, all of these songs are incredible, and they were chosen for Grace Davis and for this movie. I would love to go on the journey of figuring out what my sound is and what kind of songs I would choose. And yeah, I would love to keep singing. Why not? It opens up a whole other pathway for me. And I like the way it feels. And I also really like being on stage. I think it's the most fun I have ever had, because for the movie, we did 2 live performance scenes. And although there weren't ticket buyers in the audience, it was filled with background. So I performed live in front of hundreds of people. and I love it. It's the most fun I've ever had with my clothes on.
Oh, wow. With your clothes on. Where did that come from? Jeez.
It was really fun. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So, Tracee, how do we see the movie? I mean, because you said, will anybody go back to the concert again? But what about the movie theaters? Like, how will we see this movie?
Thank you for asking that. So we were supposed to be in theaters. Obviously, in this country, movie theaters are not open. So we are on demand, which means that almost every streaming platform will have it available to rent starting on May 29th. You can go to watchthehighnote.com to figure out where for you, but DirecTV, Apple, Vudu, Spectrum, like all of those streaming places will have it available for you to rent and for you to, if you want to figure out where you can see it, YouTube, you go to watchthehighnote.com.
Okay. I wanted to ask you this too, because I'm trying to think, was Labor Pains the last major film role you had?
I haven't had a major film role. I think I've had a lot of small film roles, and I really was waiting for the right thing because my life and schedule stays really busy, Blackish and Girlfriends. I mean, I've had the incredible opportunity of playing characters for long-running TV shows. And so I don't know what the last one was. Maybe it was Labor Pains. Maybe it was Daddy's Little Girl with Gabrielle and Idris, the Tyler Perry movie.
That was great.
But this is the first lead role I have had in a movie. I will not lie. I was really excited for it to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
It is a small disappointment in the midst of a lot of people having real losses in their lives. But I wanted it to be on the big screen. But I have to say that this is a movie that works really wonderfully in your home. And I feel like make an event of it. Get dressed up, pour yourself a cocktail, or at least put your lemonade in a beautiful glass. Sit down with your family, your boyfriend, your dog, your cat, your wife, your children. It is a movie you can watch with people or on your own and feel good about it. And I really am excited for people to see it. Oh, and we haven't even discussed the fact that Ice Cube plays my manager in the movie. I mean, that in and of itself is a reason to tune in.
Yeah. You mean there's snakes in that there pond? You know, that was my Ice Cube.
Exactly.
Come on, that gang. Tracee Ellis Ross. Grace, get on that stage. Grace Davis. That's my Ice Cube.
Yeah, working with him was epic. And Dakota Johnson. It's a really wonderful cast. Kelvin Harrison Jr. So I hope people tune in. I hope people feel good. And the rest of the soundtrack is also fantastic. There's a whole bunch of other tracks that are great that I love. Corinne Bailey Ray wrote me a song. Craziness.
Yo, that's just crazy. Tracee Ellis Ross, Ice Cube, first of all, can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. He's one of those people. I don't care if I saw Ice Cube steal a candy bar from a store. He's innocent.
You don't know who he's stealing it for?
Yeah. We don't know what's the whole story, So Ice Cube can do no wrong to me. And he sat in every chair when it comes to the Hollywood, and when it comes to the industry now.
And he knows what he's doing.
And he knows what he's doing. I must feel great to work around folks like that. Let's talk about your hair product, though. Tell us about it.
Especially during this time, Tracee. Come on through.
Yes. Okay. So Pattern Beauty. patternbeauty.com, and it is I have two missions for the brand. One is to create effective, non-toxic products that work for curly, coily, and tight textures. Products that actually make your curls pop, curl activation, hydration, seal the curl, create clumping, all those things if you wear your hair naturally, or even if you don't wear your hair naturally, but you need to protect your hair and nourish your hair. And the other part and mission of the brand is really to create another space where there's imagery and language that celebrates our authentic beauty, who we are, our power, our importance, and our beauty in its authentic form. And so that is what Pattern is. We launched the first portion of the line, which was all about the shower and wash day. a year ago, and we are slowly dropping new things. And then phase 2 of the product launches this summer. I cannot wait for everybody to hear all about that. But it was a 10-year dream. It took me 10 years to get off the ground. Right after Girlfriends, I went and started pitching. No one had any desire to do anything for this community. And now life is different, and we've named Black Girl Magic, even though we've been magic forever.
Yeah.
And now the industry has a real eye to the importance and the buying power of this community. But as we all know, we have been here and important forever and looking for products. And so that's what the brand is, Pattern Beauty.
Pattern Beauty. And then you got people could go online, look it up, order it for yourselves as well as your family members. Yep. Just a good random gift to give folks, right?
Agreed. Or just, a way to honor yourself in a time when it's not easy to do that. So you can actually, get yourself some good conditioner and make your hair look great and feel great so you feel poppin'.
Especially during this time, because I'm telling you, the word Zoom has become like a curse, and you just
God.
What? Who's trying to Zoom? And so you got the first thing that comes to mind is hair, and you just you want, to Tracee's point, you just want to make sure your hair looks good, and if it's not looking 100%, at least it's 99% healthy, and that's the main thing, especially during this time.
I think that was one of the things I learned growing up. My hair looked the best when it was healthy, and my hair could do anything when it was healthy. But how did you get it healthy? Because there weren't products that actually supported my hair.
Tracee Ellis Ross is here. I'm throwing everything at you. The Mountain Dew commercial was hilarious.
Oh my God, you're
mad funny.
with Bryan Cranston. I
had so much fun doing that.
Yo, man.
Can I tell you? Wait, you know that shower brush that I was trying to hit the thing away with? One of the takes, I smacked myself so hard in the forehead. I had a little welt on my head. I got really into it.
Yo, I feel like that commercial says Tracee Ellis Ross. You just your pivot on those beats was impeccable. I mean,
Thank you so much.
Yo, I laughed. I played that commercial over and over, man. I was like,
because I had to go back and watch it a few times. I'm like, damn, that's Jack Nicholson. I was like, yo, it was so good. You had to keep watching it to look for little things that you missed, the first couple times in it. I agree, Sway. I watched it a few times too. When I first saw it, I was like, let me rewind that. Where's my remote? What happened? This is dope.
I feel like the guy that casted, or the woman or the man that casted you in that role should get a promotion. Who made that decision?
That's hilarious. I will tell you, that was such a big moment. I was like, oh my God, did I just get a call asking me to be in a Super Bowl commercial? Oh my God, what has happened? My career is opening up. I was like, this is crazy. So excited.
You know what though, Tracee, speaking of the Super Bowl, but just sports in general, we all been talking about The Last Dance and blackballed and these different docs. You're a big sports fan? Have you been watching any of this stuff?
No, sorry.
Oh, damn.
No, I'm really sorry, because the other day I called a friend of mine, and the Michael Jordan docuseries, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, The Last Dance.
Okay. So I called a friend of mine, and he was like, what are you doing? The second to last episode is on. I was like, of what? What's happening? He was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I'm sorry. I backed off of the phone I had stepped into the wrong room. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I haven't turned the TV on. I'm the only person that hasn't turned the TV on.
Okay.
Wow.
Tracee's one of those. If you look at her IG, it just feels like you could come up with something to do every moment of the day anyway.
Yeah.
It's
really, there's a lot of laundry happening, a lot of perfect folding, a lot of cleaning. I have taken,
a lot of pillow challenges.
For some reason. Yeah, it's a lot of pillow challenges. That day, let me tell you what happened that day.
Okay.
I was having such a bad day. I was having one of those dark, bad days, and I was like, oh, I need something to distract myself. But everywhere you turn, there you are in this pandemic. You turn in the corner, there you are. Everywhere you turn, oh, there I am again. It's like Groundhog Day. So I was like, I need something to do. And, well, there you go. Pillow challenge it was.
Pillow challenge.
Killed it.
Yo, Tracee Ellis Ross, Kenya Barris came on the show maybe 2 weeks ago, and what a amazing dialogue that was. And your name came up in the conversation, and he talked about how special it is to have you guys as an ensemble on Blackish, and what he's discovered from each of you guys as actors. What has that been like for you, working this whole Blackish experience? I mean, we've spoken about it over the years, but now it's just morphed into something that's bigger than any one person. You know, I mean, any one era, any one genre. What when you reflect on it, how has it helped you morph as an individual?
Well, there's been so many things. I mean, I'll just speak personally. The experience on that show has been incredible. I mean, it's 6 years now.
Wow.
It's 6 years. It's such a family. I mean, I texted Anthony the other day. I was like, I miss you. Like, I mean, what the hell? And the kids have become, I mean, you know, they were so little when we started, and they're these extraordinary human beings now.
Yeah.
You know, Yara is at Harvard and
Killing it. Yeah.
she's so incredible. And Marseille is the youngest producer and producing movies. You know, she's incredible. And Marcus and Miles, they're these. I mean, Marcus had me write his college recommendation letter. I mean, just stop. Like, it's like unbelievable to me. So the personal experience and the friends I've made and the relationships and how we work together, the respect that we have for each other, the fact that there's no drama coming out of our show. You know what I mean? Like you work really closely. We're together at 5 o'clock in the morning for 14-hour days. And I mean, I joke with Anthony because the two of us have played married. I've played married to him longer than I've been in any relationship. And
yo, that's funny.
And I've never been to his house. He's never been to my house. We've never been to dinner with just the two of us. We barely talk on the phone, but we spend all this time together and respecting each other's process and not even rolling our eyes at each other. Anthony knows when I'm being Tracee, he just kind of steps aside. When he's being Anthony, I step aside, let him do his thing. You know what I mean? And it's just a really amazing journey we've had together while making great television. The writers are incredible. What Kenya developed as a show and the way we are a comedy, but we deal with the topics that all of us are grappling with, trying to make sense of. We don't try and give answers, but instead we open up the conversation. The fact that we as a Black family are an American family, and that is what we are representing on television. There's so much of that I just feel so proud of, and Kenya started it, you know?
Yeah. I'm proud. I'm just proud as an onlooker, and just as being a Black man in the community and watching how everybody has been excelling and raising the bar consistently. And to Heather's point, not a whole lot of drama that has nothing to do with the show outside of the show. I just commend you, Tracee Ellis Ross, and your brother Evan. Tell that young man I said my love. Oh, come on,
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, they're one of them. That couple, I've partied with that couple. And, you know what I mean?
Those two love each other so much; it's hilarious. And their daughter and they're pregnant, by the way, which is so exciting. They got another one coming, more babies. But I also, let's take a minute and talk about you guys and thank you, even in the midst of all of this, that your voices continue to transcend and be bigger than fear, bigger than loss and pain, and you penetrate our culture and the citizens in such an important way. And so I thank you guys for that as well. I think particularly in times like this where the inequity of our world is so apparent, particularly in this country where it's always here, but it becomes even louder in moments like this. Your voices, both for comfort and information, remain incredibly powerful and specifically important. So thank you as well.
And thank you, Tracee Ellis Ross. I'm going to make a sweeper out of that so we can play it over and over.
Tracee got me ready to go get a mask with a glass of vodka, honey, and some lemonade.
I have to go.
I know you got to go.
Forever.
Yeah, I know. We could keep going. I'm getting hit by your people, so Tracee has to go. But
Okay.
Thank you, Tracee.
But the higher note. Make sure you watch the movie, The Higher Note, premiering on video.
The High Note.
The High Note. I'm sorry, The High Note.
Yes, okay.
Friday the 29th. Tracee, thank you.
Thank you so much. Stay well, you guys.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and hang up so I don't get in trouble. Friday, May 29th, The High Note with Tracee Ellis Ross. We coming right back. Sway in the morning,
so
Shay
dope,
45.
man.
Love her.